Hey guys, Amanda here to lead you through a good morning yoga practice. And today we're going to use some props. So we're going to actually use a block if you have one. If you don't have a block, you can always grab a bolster or pillow. Sometimes two pillows might work. I grab anything that you can support yourselves, maybe a blanket. And so get some comfy clothes on, roll out your mat, and we'll get started on this practice. Hey guys, so let's once again start off today in easy pose. If your hips are tender at all, you're always welcome to bring a block underneath of those hips or a blanket. You can slowly sit it just underneath of the sits bones, and then your hips are just a little bit further up so that you're seated in a more comfortable seat. We'll find that space once again to lengthen up through that spine, and we'll begin to once again plant your hands onto the thighs, the knees, the shins, wherever feels good. Find that space to close down those eyes. From here, let's take a few moments to allow our minds to notice what's taking place within your body this morning. Noticing if you're feeling a little tired, a little groggy from sleep. Noticing if you're feeling maybe full of life and full of energy. Maybe you've been up for the past half hour, or whatever time of the day you're doing this practice. Maybe you're already feeling full of energy. Noticing where you've landed today and seeing if you can pass no judgment upon that. Just become a silent observer of the body, silent observer of those thoughts, silent observer of the mind. And we'll take a few moments here to begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. And maybe even begin to deepen your breath just slightly here, coming into a steady, even state of breath. Or allowing ourselves to come into your Ujjayi breath, if you know and love to practice your Ujjayi breath. And take a few moments to notice that length and clarity of your breath. Noticing if it's catching anywhere, if it's feeling long and full. And starting off this practice today, starting off your day today with an intention. And an intention can be any positive affirmation that you want to bring into your life, whether it be trust, let go, power, peace, serenity, whatever it is that sits well with you this morning, bring it into your body and into your practice. And if your mind begins to wander off throughout this practice this morning, continually bringing it back to your intention. Taking about 2 more rounds of breath. And then just slowly beginning to open up those eyes. And from here, we're going to plant our right hand beside that right hip. Inhale, we'll rise the left arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, slowly begin to inch those fingertips out towards the right side of the room. Gaze can either go up towards the eye of that left elbow, or maybe still off towards the front of the room, wherever feels good for your neck today. We're going to come into that nice gentle side body stretch to start off our practice today. Finding some length and depth into your breath. On our next inhalation, begin to rise the left fingertips straight back up to the sky. Exhale, we'll plant that left hand down to the floor. Inhale, we'll rise the right arm up to the sky. Slowly begin to inch those fingertips out towards the left side of the room. And again, your gaze can go up into the eye of that right elbow, or maybe off towards the front of the room if the neck is tender today. Finding space to breathe into that right side body. On our next inhalation, begin to rise that right arm straight back up. Exhale, right fingertips back down to the floor. Good. From here, let's begin to plant your right hand behind your right hip. We'll inhale, rise that left arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, let's plant your left hand to the outside edge of your right knee. So we're just coming into a nice gentle spinal twist. Looking over your right shoulder. With every inhale, we'll find a little bit more length up through that spine. Every exhale, seeing if you can find the space to twist just a little bit deeper into the posture. Exhale, we'll unravel, come back through to center. From here, let's plant your left hand behind your left hip. Inhale, right arm straight up to the sky, and exhale, right hand to the outside edge of that left knee. Again, inhale, find some length up through your spine. Exhale, use that natural space within the body to twist through your posture. Looking out and over your left shoulder. Finding length and depth into your breath into this pose. And oftentimes when we're in a twisted posture, we tend to want to hold the breath. So making sure that you're always remembering to breathe. On our next exhalation, we'll unravel, come back through to center. On our next inhalation, let's rise those arms straight up and overhead. Exhale, we're going to take hold of opposite elbows here. Find some length up through your chest. Rise the chest, shine it up towards the front of the room. Exhale, we'll hinge and round through the back. Bring the elbows in line with the shoulders. Curve through that spine. So we're coming into a little bit of a cat-cow variation here. Inhale, once again, rise up through that chest, opening up through that heart. Gaze can come up to the ceiling. And exhale, we'll hinge and round through the spine, opening up through the curvature in the spine, elbows in line with shoulders. Okay, let's go about 3 more with your own breath. So inhaling, finding your length. And exhale, find your round. 2 more here. Last one. Good. On our next inhalation, we'll lengthen it straight back up. Exhale, slowly begin to float those arms back down beside the hips. Good. From here, let's roll off of our block, our blanket, or our pillow, whatever we had to support us. We're going to come up onto those hands and knees. So let's make our way up into our tabletop position. Once you've landed into your tabletop, we're actually going to press those hips back, coming into our hero's pose. So coming into our thunderbolt posture. And I had a question here the other day about some modifications for this for ankle mobility. So if you have a bolster or a pillow, what we're actually going to do is plant the pillow or bolster just underneath of the hips here, or maybe even a blanket if you have a little extra space. You're just going to sit your hips back down onto that bolster. In case if your ankles are a little bit tight today, you're always welcome to use any support that you need. You can always bring it up a little bit higher by adding 2 pillows. Take it to your flexibility today so that your ankles are not feeling any tension here. And again, if you have lots of mobility, you can actually press your hips all the way back down onto the floor, or maybe just in between the heels. From here, if we have a strap, we're going to grab hold of a strap. I brought in a tie today just to give you a little example of something that you can use. We're going to grab hold of our strap, and we'll slowly begin to take the strap into that right hand. We'll inhale, rise that right arm up and overhead. Take a bend in that right elbow. Let the strap trace down to the base of your back. And we're going to take a bend in your right elbow. Slowly begin to wrap your left elbow, left hand around to the back side of the body and take hold of the strap with your opposite hand. So we're rising up through that chest and exhaling. Slowly begin to inch your fingertips a little bit closer. So opening up through the heart here. Peel your right elbow back. Opening up nice and deeply through that chest. Nice stretch through those shoulders. Stretch through the tricep. Take a few moments of breath. exhalation, we'll release that hold of the strap. Slowly begin to rise your right arm straight up to the sky and then release your right hand back down to the floor. We'll grab hold of that strap into your left hand. And again, same thing. We're going to grab that strap or grab your strap or your tie. We're going to lengthen it straight up to the sky. Take a bend in that left elbow. Let that strap or tie trace down to the base of your back. Reach your right elbow all the way around. Reach your hand around. See if you can grab hold of the opposite end of the strap. And now if you have lots of space today, you're always welcome to grab hold of your opposite fingertips. We'll inhale, rise up through your chest, open up through that heart, expanding out here. Take these next few moments, come back to your intention, come back to your breath. Lifting your left elbow, open nice and high, so you're really expanding out through that chest. And on our next exhalation, we'll begin to rise that left arm straight back up and begin to release it back down to the floor. Awesome. We'll begin to plant your strap off to the side. We're going to roll up off of the block, bolster, or pillow, whatever you used for support. And again, just plant that off to the side. And from here, we're going to come into our tabletop position and slowly begin to peel yourself down into your puppy pose. So let's walk those hands out in front of the body. And again, if mobility is a little bit of an issue today, you're always welcome to take a slight bend into the elbows and actively press your chest in between the arms. If you have lots of mobility through that chest, through those arms, you're welcome to inch your fingertips forward. Press your chest down in between the arms and maybe begin to bring your forehead down to the floor. If you have lots of space today, you're welcome to bring your chin to the floor. Nice deep openness through the heart, through the chest. Feels so great to open up through that heart, through that chest. Take a few more clearing rounds of breath. On our next inhalation, we're going to rise it up into your neutral tabletop. On your next exhalation, we'll curl those back toes under, send your hips up and back into your very first downward facing dog. So start to pedal out those feet for this first down dog. Walk those heels down to the floor, opening up in whatever way feels good for you. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and taking a nice gentle pedal into those feet. And then whenever you're ready, we'll press those hips all the way back. Take a slight bend into the knees. So you're working through elongating through that spine as opposed to sending your heels down to the floor. So keep that slight bend into the knees so you're actively pressing those hips back. On our next inhalation, we'll rise up onto those toe balls, lift the heels up off the floor, and exhale, send those heels down to the floor. Good. Inhaling, rising up to the toes. And exhale, send your heels down. Let's do two more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Good. On our next inhalation, let's look forward. Exhale, take a slight bend of the knee. Walk or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, we'll do a halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, we'll hinge and fold. Inhaling, let's rise those arms all the way up and overhead, looking up to your hands. Exhale, bring your hands back down through to heart center, all the way down Samasthiti. Good, we're going to roll through about 3 sun salutations to salute the sun this morning. Maybe you're up before the sun and you want to bring that sun out with some sun salutations. We'll inhale, rise those arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, hinge and find your fold. Inhale, we'll find that halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, let's firmly plant the hands. Walk or hop your feet to the back of the mat. Come down through your chaturanga. Now, if you need to, bring those knees down to the floor. Slowly begin to bring your chest down in between the arms. Inhale, we'll rise it up into baby cobra or upward facing dog if that's within your practice. And exhale, send your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Awesome. We're taking a few moments to Breathe deeply here, finding a hold into this resting pose. Root a little bit deeper down into the base of the index finger and the base of the thumb. On our next inhalation, let's look forward. Exhale, take a slight bend, and then you walk or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, we'll rise that halfway up. Exhale, firmly plant those hands onto the floor. Inhale, we'll rise the arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands back down through to heart center. All the way down beside the hips, Samasthiti. Shine those palms forward. Good. Inhaling, arms up, look up. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, we'll find that halfway lift. Exhale, firmly plant the hands, walk or hop your feet to the back of the mat, lower down through your chaturanga. So if you need to, bring those knees down to the floor or keep your knees lifted up off the floor. Slowly begin to bring your chest down in between the arms. Inhale, rise it up, baby cobra or up dog. And exhale, send your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Hanging out here, holding into this posture. Coming back to that breath, maybe even begin to come back to your intention. On our next inhalation, begin to look forward. Exhale, take a slight bend of the knee, walk or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, we'll rise that halfway up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, let's rise those arms all the way up and overhead, looking up to those hands. Exhale, bring your hands back down through to heart center. All the way down, Samasthiti. Last one here. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, firmly plant the hands, walk or hop your feet to the back of the mat. Come down through your chaturanga. Inhale, rise it up through your back bend. Exhale, press your hips back into your downward facing dog. Hanging out here. And as we roll through those sun salutations, we build a little bit of heat, a little bit of fire within our bodies. Sun salutations are the perfect practice to warm up your body. So even if you're ever in doubt and you want to do something to get your body moving in the morning, do a few sun salutations. It really helps to warm up that body, warm up anything that's stiffening up into the body. It's a great morning practice to open up your day. On our next inhalation, let's look forward. Exhale, take a slight bend in the knee, walk or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, we'll rise that halfway up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, let's rise those arms all the way up and overhead, looking up to those hands. Exhale, bring those hands back down through to heart center, all the way down, Samasthiti. Good. Let's play with a little bit of balance here today. So we're going to come into our tree pose. So you can stay at the top of the mat. We'll find a firm foundation into that left foot. On your next inhalation, begin to bring your right ankle into right foot into your left ankle, maybe the calf, or maybe if you have lots of space today, into the thigh, or even if you have even more space today, you're welcome to bring it into that left hip flexor. So take it to where it feels good in your body. Begin to bring those hands into heart center for balance and stability. Find a drishti point. So oftentimes this can be a point onto the floor or maybe into the wall in front of you. Root your right knee out towards the back of the room. Find your balance. Nice stable posture, working through all those little stabilizer muscles into that left ankle. Strong sounded breath. And if you want to play a little bit today with your tree pose, you're welcome to stay right here. If you want to play with your balance, maybe begin to branch those arms out like tree branches. Finding a little bit more stability into the posture. And if you're swaying a little bit, that's okay. Oftentimes trees do sway within the wind. So if you're swaying a little bit, no worries about that. If you fall out of the posture, just bring yourself back to the posture. On our next exhalation, we'll begin to bring those hands back down into heart center or maybe into the hips. Inhale, we'll begin to bring your right knee all the way forward. And exhale, let's extend your right heel straight out in front of you. So it could come inches from the floor. Maybe it's coming up a little bit higher. Maybe it's coming up even higher. Take it to your flexibility, your strength into your body. Finding all that stabilizer muscles. Our stabilizers into that left ankle should be getting nice and fired up, nice and juicy at this point in time. And exhale, slowly begin to release your right ankle down to the floor. Whew, give that left ankle a little bit of a roll out, shake out. Awesome, we'll go straight into that opposite side. So firmly plant your right foot into the floor. We'll inhale, rise that left foot into the inner right ankle, maybe the calf or maybe your thigh. If you have lots of space today, you're welcome to bring it into that inner right hip crease. So take it to your flexibility, your posture. Hands into heart center, find your balance. Strong breath, strong stability into your breath. Left knee out towards the back of the room. Good, and from here we'll begin to play with that posture, balance out both sides of the body. If you ended up branching those arms out, make sure you branch them out once again to balance out both sides. Breathe. Find stability, find your drishti point, your point of focus. As you exhale, we'll begin to bring the hands into heart center or down beside the hips. Inhale, we'll begin to bring that left knee forward. Exhale, send your left heel straight out in front of you. So it could be inches from the floor. Maybe it's a little bit higher or even a little bit higher. Take it to your strength, your flexibility within your body. Find length and depth into your breath. You should feel lots of stabilizer muscles kicking into that right ankle. And exhale, slowly release that left foot down to the floor. Whew, give that right ankle a little bit of a shake out or roll out. Awesome, we'll come all the way back up to the top of the mat, toes together, heels slightly apart. We're gonna flow it down to the floor. So inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, firmly plant the hands, walk or help your feet to the back of the mat. Lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale, we'll rise it up into your back bend. And exhale, we're gonna bring those knees down to the floor, send your hips back into a child pose. Let your head fall heavy. Maybe even begin to find a gentle rock, sway into your child. Allowing our bodies to rest a little bit deeper into this posture. You're welcome to keep it into closed knee child, or if you want to take it a little bit further and take it out into a wide knee child, you're always welcome to take it there. And if child, once again, is a little bit too much for those ankles, you're always welcome to, again, bring a pillow, bring a block, whatever feels good, plant it just behind those hips and sit down onto that. Same thing with your child if ankle mobility is a little bit of a issue for you today. On our next inhalation, we'll slowly begin to rise ourselves back up into a tabletop position. Exhale, let's swing that bum around back onto the floor. We're going to come all the way down into your final relaxation. So begin to lengthen those arms and legs out from the body. Again, lie with those palms facing up. Roll yourselves back down onto the floor. Lie with those palms facing up, roll the shoulder blades back and underneath of the body, and take a few moments of rest. Again, find a moment here to bring that intention back into your heart. Notice where that intention led you for your practice, and take that intention with you off of your mat. And finding space here to let go of all activation through the mind, the body, the spirit, and the breath. Allowing yourself to rest a little bit deeper into your Shavasana. And letting go of all expectations. Take a few more moments here for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your breath. And allow ourselves to soak up all the good that we just did within our practice. You're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for a little bit longer. Staying here for as long as you'd like, finding a few more moments of silence after this video is done. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you like this practice today, like, subscribe, and share this video for more content like this.